Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Monday Motivation. It's Des here, just out and about for my Monday evening walk down by the River Trent, as opposed to recent weeks when it's been absolutely blistering, been red hot, and it's been nice to get out in the sun. Today it's a little bit different. It's actually raining as I speak, and the rain's just started again. It was been raining all afternoon. Thought I'd find a window to get out and enjoy the slightly cooler temperatures, but it started raining again. That's not too much of a problem. It's not cold, it's a little bit muggy, if anything. Muggy is a proper Nottingham term for when it's warm after the rain. I suppose that's the best way of describing it, but it is really quite muggy. So this latest shower, not too much of a bad thing, and why should we let that put us off anyway? This is something I do every week to try and ease myself in, to give myself a great opportunity to look forward to everything that's in store, reflect on the weekend and how that's gone. Been another absolutely brilliant weekend which I've really enjoyed. Managed to get a run in at Part 1, vlogged it as well, which is always nice. That'll be out on Wednesday, do check that out. That project Part 1 PB I'm working on, which I accept now is going to be somewhat of a slow burner, but I'll keep chipping away at it, keep getting my activity in where I can. And again, just to sort of get going in the week, I had a walk around the river tonight, something I've not done as much. Normally you'll find me walking up and down, but I've walked around a 5k loop, and again, it just feels really nice, to be honest. It feels like I've done something to really get on top of things. Whilst it's not the most strenuous activity in the world, it's doing something. There's people out and about now, running, walking, and again, probably taking advantage of the slightly cooler conditions rather than letting it put them off. You know, they're actually out here attacking the week in the best way possible. Of course, as the week goes on, I'll be looking to up my activity levels, the daily motivations through DOdaily, Monday motivation, Tuesday training, Wednesday workout. Of course, encourage a little activity, because I believe there's a massive link between good physical and mental health. But all that said, whilst activity has been a little bit of a frustration for me, and even after the run at the weekend, my leg's not quite held up the way I wanted it to, I'm still feeling absolutely fantastic. You know, there's so much to look forward to. How can I not, in reality? And how can I not mention on each episode of DOdaily at the moment the forthcoming wedding? Really excited about it. Less than 2 weeks now. So if I wasn't in great spirits now, when would I be? This is probably the best period of my life, doing lots of things I enjoy. You know, whether it is sort of running related, activity related, you know, the things I do through YouTube, the football I get to go to, enjoy Forest in the Premier League, another big day on Saturday with that, absolutely brilliant. And then of course getting married. What a year 2022 is going to be. So I am in great spirits, but that doesn't mean don't have our ups and downs and don't have our frustrations. And at times, whilst I use running to really sort of dig me out of difficult positions, I'm glad at the moment with that not working, everything's going along just fine. One of the reasons it's going along perfectly fine is because I refused not to let it. You know, with a wedding, it can be stressful, there can be a lot of nervousness and sort of angst around getting things right, but I've insisted all the way through that we have to be positive. Things can always go wrong, but in reality, what can really go wrong? You know, the outcome regardless is going to be the same. You know, I'm going to get married to Kay and we're going to enjoy, hopefully, you never know, our lives together. I'm very confident of that. That made it sound like I wasn't, but no, I'm extremely confident. But again, we can't worry about what might happen on the big day. So for me, it's just about enjoying the process, and that's something I tend to do in everything. I guess it's something worth talking about today as well. Just trusting and enjoying the process. Words I've used in different areas in the last few weeks, but we really have to do that, don't we? If we want to be happy and positive and content, we've just got to believe that everything will be just fine, and the more positivity we show, the more we're going to create, the more positive situations we're going to create. If we're negative, think negative, and negative things that happen. Probably the biggest reoccurring message through the 2.5 years of DOdaily is about thinking positive and being enthusiastic about what you're doing. So for me, it's all systems go on that front, but it's all systems go on everything really. Just feeling really, really good, trying to pass on my positivity to other people, trying to encourage others to get involved, do different things. When I go to the football, for example, there's lots of us as a big football family, as we call it these days, big Forest family, and that's brilliant to feel like you're part of something. Sometimes people don't get that, and again, I always reiterate it, try not to talk about football too much, but the relationship you have with people and what you have in common is great for making you sort of want to do more of it. And I've been lucky this season in particular, with Forest getting to the Premier League, to really, really embrace it. I guess one sort of metaphor I can use from the football is the fact that it's not going to be plain sailing either. We know Forest are going to find it tough in the Premier League. It's a step up. They're getting out the comfort zone. How much have I encouraged people through this to get out the comfort zone, to enjoy that feeling, when you're achieving something different? And Forest are definitely doing that this season. There'll be highs and lows and difficult situations, but as a supporter, as a fan, I'm just thinking I've got to really embrace it. The ups and downs, the process, trust the process, trust the enjoyment. I firmly believe that they're going to get to a point where they can stabilise in the Premier League. But again, that's the metaphor, isn't it? We can all find ourselves in difficult positions, where life throws us the ups and downs. Forest over the last 12 months has been an upward curve, excitement after excitement, big game after big game. And it can be like that. It's been like that for me over the last few years in reality, with one or two little dips, with one or two things that could really set me back. One or two things that have set me back at times, a little bit more than I'd hoped they would, because I feel I've learnt along the way and understood myself a bit better by talking outwardly. But again, when you realise it's only temporary, when you don't let these things affect you too much, you know that there's better times to come as well. And that's all I'm saying now really. Whilst we can stress and worry and what might happen or what might not happen, the reality is, when it happens, we got to get over it, haven't we? And if we're in a good position to start with, we're giving ourselves every possibility of being just right. I don't want to accept being just right most of the time. We all want to be perfect all the time, but that's not really the reality, is it? Things are sent to try us. Life's difficult. Life gets in the way sometimes. Bad things, happen. Whether it's just through the cycle of life itself, or whether it's people trying to be difficult and make things as hard as possible and obstruct, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But it all boils down to us at the end of the day, doesn't it? If we want to be positive, happy, enthusiastic, if we find good feeling from whatever we do, even the smallest little things, like me tonight, getting out for a walk around this familiar route, which I've done 100 times maybe, but I've not done it for a while, makes me feel like I've achieved again. It makes me feel like I'm getting back to those routines I spoke about so much about on DOdaily recently. Whilst it's good to have spontaneity and do different things and sort of live in the moment sometimes, routine when you're in a good place is also fantastic, because it means you can look forward to things, be positive about it, appreciate that you've made good decisions, put a lot of preparation and planning into it, and it's what you want. And when you've got all that, you ain't going far wrong, and that's the reality. It might sound like preaching a little bit and telling people it's easy to be happy. It definitely isn't, but the first thing we can do if we're not quite feeling it is at least try to start with the best of intentions. And for me, that's what Mondays are all about. Walk around the river, a run, some kind of activity. I believe in that direct link between physical and mental activity, physical health and mental health. There's a direct link there that really does get us out of some tricky positions. For me, not that I necessarily needed it today, but it stops me worrying, stressing, getting too thoughtful, going over things. Get out there, take some time for myself, process my thoughts, and do it with a smile on my face. When the endorphins kick in, even better, because then we start feeling even more positive about what we're doing. So hopefully you've kind of understood what I'm saying there, guys. Use the analogies of football and weddings to show you how it's not always plain sailing, but with the best of intentions, with a genuine sort of purpose to go at, you're giving yourself every opportunity. If you could get out there, getting a walk, getting some activity, even in the rain. It doesn't have to be negative, does it? If you've been moaning about the sun, get out in the rain. It's really cool, calm, just a few noisy ducks, but again, that just adds to the ambience of where I'm at. A place I love to walk and get about, feeling really, really motivated to attack the penultimate week before the wedding. Again, I'm sure as it goes on, there'll be ups and downs, there'll be things that test me, but feeling absolutely fantastic and ready to deal with them as they come. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. All I'm trying to be is honest and relatable. Use my daily experiences to help people who might not be feeling fantastic, or just want to see somebody doing real things, living real sort of feelings and enjoying real experiences. That's all DOdaily is about. If you're new to the channel, of course, please subscribe. I think I'm going to get swamped by these ducks, so I'm going to sign out. I'll be back tomorrow for Tuesday training, looking to build on my activity, looking to do that little bit more, to crack on with a week, make sure it's another absolutely brilliant one. Last week ended on such a high, brilliant weekend on the back of great spirit. If this one's anything like it, it'll be a good one too. Hopefully yours is absolutely fantastic. You get to do all the things you want and enjoy them as much as you can. Until then, just doing it.